like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, especially if you ride with the channel. Now these next few clips, I'm gonna just let them rock just so you could get what I'm trying to say in the video. Alright, now let's watch these clips.
This was a huge disaster for Disney and for Marvel. Look at this right here. Your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man viewership ratings are nowhere to be found. That's right. Hardly anybody tuned in to watch this. You know, they say this was a Spider-Man show. They said this was for kids, but then they show you shit like this.
Go get the tiger.
You heard correctly. That was They Them Harry Osborn. That's Disney and Marvel's new Harry Osborn in this woke Spider-Man series using Mary Jane's line. Right? Go get him, Tiger. That's something that Mary Jane said to Peter Parker. But now, in Disney's woke Spider-Man animated series, you got They Them Harry Osborn over here using Mary Jane's line. And throughout the series, there's this kind of weird relationship they have going on. And I'm telling you, in season 2, it would not surprise me one bit if we don't see some sort of romantic relationship between these two. Disaster for this Shrek movie if this is true. Now, a lot of people believe that Zendaya's character, that's this character right here, is actually Shrek's son, not his daughter, right? And the reason why people believe this is because of this right here. Right here, you have Shrek's kids, and very clearly, Shrek's only daughter that we know of, again, he could maybe he had another daughter, but the only daughter that we know of clearly has blue eyes. Well, Zendaya's character has brown eyes. And once again, Shrek's sons have brown eyes, and so does Zendaya's character, brown eyes. And that's why a lot of people think that this will be true. And here's the thing, if this is true, this movie is going to be a failure. You know, ain't no parent's gonna take their kids to go watch this garbage, bro. Nobody. You know, if they do include this in this Shrek 5 movie, first of all, nobody asked for this movie. You know, this is not a movie that people were asking for. Nobody was checking for, you know, when the next Shrek movie was going to come out. But if this is true right here, bro, it's a flop. It's a failure. It's
Girl, did you see this? So she went from moving into her new house, soon to be engaged, living down the street from her best friend in 2022, to getting a divorce in 2025 because her husband cheated with her best friend behind her back for 2 years. This is the friend in question. She has now privated her social.
Two things. Why are you not talking about the friend being disloyal first? 2, why don't y'all just both marry him? This is the thing I like about Zennials, Generation Zers. They'll step to the dude and say, I'm not even dating you unless you date my friend too. My 19-year-old son, he has girls who have come at him like that. Good thing he had me and his mom in his life giving him the true game. The conspiracy demonized the man. That's a part of the conspiracy to help break up the family. 2 women getting together, that's all good. 2 men getting together, that's all good. It's not unfair. Like, what are we in 5th grade? It's not unethical. Oh, the love of Jesus Christ. No, not all that. It isn't this 50-50. I can do whatever a man can do. That's the conspiracy, because it never was that. That's the cap that they've been shoveling down everybody's throat. Pause.
I'm just trying to get to know you.
If you're trying to get to know me, you got to pay my rent, help me pay child support. I got 3 baby mamas and 5 kids.
Editing Adonis here. In that day, 7 women will take hold of one man. What you're seeing here is one of these 7 women trying to take hold of this one man. Like, how do you think that whole process happens? You tell me what you believe in the comments.
When new Jordans come out, you got to cop. You got to cook 5-star meals every day, all day. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, and a late night snack. You need to line up every week to stay fresh.
Women weren't made to do this, nor do they want to do it. But when we get closer and closer to that day where 7 women grab hold of one man, People want to be lied to, because how can this be true, but then also space is fake? The earth is flat, but aliens created us. Like, which one do you want, man? That's what they need to destroy the family for, so they can manipulate the woman and the kid, her child, into enjoying being lied to. And I'm not mad at y'all. That's the deeper conspiracy. That's for the three-dimensional thinkers. This stuff on the top is just for these fantasy fruity land thinkers. Not you though. You're not that. I mean, my subscribers, the people who like what I do, my members who can afford a whopping $1 a month.
Think you know everything about color?
People in this creepy talk genre, they do think they know everything about everything.
I cheat on my diet yesterday, which is a fucking win, let me tell y'all, because I've been cheating on my diet every day. But I didn't cheat on my diet, and I'm not going to cheat on my diet today. I'm trying to lose a few pounds before the summertime hit. So wish me good luck, guys. Because it seemed like I said, once the sun goes down, I turn into a different person, and I just want to eat everything in sight. But I don't want to do. I can't. Like, I need to stay in shape. I need to take care of my body. I need to stay and stick to my diet. I need to lose like 10, 20 pounds. And
I was today years old when I found out that men are not supposed to chase after women. Proverbs 31. Don't chase after women and lose your strength. Women like that have destroyed kings.
That could have just been some TikTok stuff. So let's really look. A chapter in the Hebrew Bible. Is it not official now because it's the Hebrew Bible? Is that why they made a distinction? Presents advice from King Lemuel's mother, followed by a description of a virtuous and capable woman, often called the Proverbs 31 woman, emphasizing her worth and virtues.
Pain. I can feel myself rot.
Ancient toilets unveiled. Imagine flushing a toilet over 4,000 years ago. The Indus Valley Civilization, which thrived around 2500 BCE in what is now Pakistan and northwest India, boasted so almi of the most advanced urban planning of its time. Among its remarkable achievements were sophisticated drainage systems and what can only be described as early prototypes of modern toilets. These ancient cities, such as Mohenjo-Daro and Harappa, featured brick-lined bathrooms with seats resembling commodes connected to an elaborate network of drains. Long before the Romans engineered their famed aqueducts, the people of the Indus Valley had already mastered the art of plumbing. Their cities were meticulously planned with grid-like precision, featuring well-drained streets and even public baths. This wasn't just for the elite. Many homes had private bathing areas, hinting at a society that valued cleanliness and hygiene. The water management systems they designed were unparalleled, and their understanding of urban sanitation was truly ahead of its time. It's remarkable to think that while much of the world was still figuring out basic settlement living, the Indus Valley inhabitants were enjoying the benefits of a planned urban lifestyle with amenities that wouldn't become common in many parts of the world.
Well, I guess that goes to show us white people weren't the first people to come up with everything. No, what it shows us is some of it you want to believe, some of it you don't want to believe, and that's just what we're going to do.
Because money's based on water law, not moral. Man is based on moral. Thou shalt not do this, thou shalt not do that. Money's based on water. That's why you have liquidity. That's why you have currency, because it's water, and there ain't no rules in the water. They named it underwater. Even the bank is underwater. The bank of the Nile or the bank, that's where water is to land. The bank, it's water.
The Great Pyramids, alien beacons for an ancient energy grid. For centuries, historians have puzzled over how the Great Pyramids were built with such precision. But what if the pyramids weren't just tombs or monuments? What if they were actually part of an ancient, extraterrestrial energy grid that once spanned the Earth?
What if?
According to this theory, the pyramids, especially those in Giza, weren't built by humans alone. Instead, they were constructed with the help of an advanced
alien race. How if space isn't real? Tell me that, casual, creepy TikTok watcher stumbling across my channel. Space ain't real, Earth is flat, but then the pyramids was built by aliens? Don't LeBron James it and move the goalposts. Explain that. Before I slap the fire out of you, man.
So this is either going to be the biggest discovery of the century or it's going to be complete nonsense. But apparently the pyramid at Khafre at Giza has been scanned by radar and that they allegedly detected massive structures that were stirring far below the pyramid. Allegedly, researchers said that they announced the discovery of a normal vertical cylindrical structures that were approximately 648 meters beneath the Strath.
One of the things I find most striking is the presence of Antarctica on ancient maps, because we didn't discover it until 1820. The so-called Pinkerton world map, drawn I think in 1813 or 1818, it just shows a hole where Antarctica is. But if you go back to, for example, the Waldseemüller world map, drawn in 1530, you find Antarctica is present. There's Antarctica at the tip of South America, just south of South Africa.
And what did they call it back then?
Well, they call it the Southern Land, and it's larger than it is today, but it was larger than it is today during the Ice Age. Antarctica was a much bigger. Now, what the fuck is it doing on a map drawn in the 1500s, which we know was based on older source maps when nobody knew it existed in the 1500s? To me, the obvious answer is we are dealing with the fingerprints of a lost civilization.
Fentanyl has been found in marijuana in 10 different states. If you are a smoker of marijuana, I'm warning you. And I'm telling you that you need to be careful, because a lot of times these people that sell marijuana, they don't even know that the fentanyl is in the marijuana. If you are a person that is selling marijuana, I'm sure you got a person that you're getting it from. You don't know what they're putting in that marijuana, and you sell it to somebody. They pass away at your hands because they found fentanyl in the marijuana.
She was talking too much. You can't believe everything you hear on the internet. That's the problem with you, man. Believing everything that people say. Well, I don't even know this lady. You don't even know her. Man, buddy, it's me. Let's just watch another clip.
Did you have a shoe company that you wanted to build?
That was Adidas.
Yes, you heard him right, Adidas. Shout out to hip hop culture, because we have a big hand in making sneaker culture what it is today. The streets, if it wasn't popping in the streets, it wasn't popping really nowhere. Let me tell you something, man. When I was young in the 1980s, college was the internet and the streets was the dark web. Tell them some more, Mike.
Michael didn't even want to be at Nike.
And my mother said, you're going to go listen. You may not like it, but you're going to go listen. Go into that meeting not wanting to be there. Father said, you gotta be a fool for not taking this deal. This is the best deal.
Back then, the best guys.
My father said you gotta be a fool to not take this deal. This is the best deal. Shout out to fathers. And this is why the powers that be want to erase the 90s and erase Jordan. The crack epidemic was biological warfare. Allegedly, I mean, these guys have come out and admitted now that everyone's gone, whatever, but it didn't have the desired effect it was supposed. Well, it did destabilize the family to a degree, because in the 1970s the family was still intact. Whatever what's her name, Gloria Steinem, was doing, it was having an impact, but there was still too many women. I was like, nah, I want to be with my man. I like my man likes me. But back to what Michael Jordan said, my dad said, you gotta be a fool. The mother was like, you might not like it, you're gonna go, you're gonna listen. That's a family right there. You need both parents.
Did you have a shoe company that you wanted to build?
That was Adidas.
Michael didn't even want to be at Nike.
And my mother said, you're going to go listen. You may not like it, but you're going to go listen. Go into that meeting not wanting to be there. Father said, you got to be a fool for not taking this deal. This is the best deal.
Back then, the best guys might have gotten like $100,000 or so. And he got probably $250. It was like, you would pay him what? A young rookie that's done nothing? You must be out of your mind.
When I negotiated the Nike deal, I said to him, you're a small company, and if you want Michael Jordan, he's got to have his own shoe line. Nike just come out with this new technology called air soles. And obviously Michael played in the air. I said, okay, I got it. We're going to call it Air Jordan.
And Jordan, that's got a pretty good ring to it.
Nike's expectation when we signed the deal, they hoped to sell $3 million worth of Air Jordans. In year one, we sold $126 million.
Blame, minimize, deny. Those are the three hallmarks of an abuser.
Either the world is completely losing it, or what was just discovered under the Pyramid of Khafre will change Egyptian history as we know it.
First of all, she's a cutie. I like cute nerd girls that are into conspiracies. So when I start talking about my tinfoil hat stuff, she doesn't look at me like, whatever. My wife be telling me about conspiracies that I didn't even realize. She be connecting dots. We be connecting dots together. Then she take her top off and it's like, whoa, let's connect the ultimate dot.
It's true is just insane, and I'll explain my hesitation in a minute. So already in 2022, Filippo Biondi and Corrado Malanga.
That's who she looks like. You look like Millie Bobby Brown. The grown version, not the Drake version.
Created this high-tech radar called synthetic aperture radar, SAR for short, that using sound waves and vibrations is able to recreate an image of what lies underneath the pyramids. It's basically a way to look inside and underneath without moving a stone. This was 2022, and I'll link the study, which is peer-reviewed, in the caption. But apparently now, March 15th of this year, they had a press release specifically on the Khafre pyramid, and what they released would send any archaeologist into a coma. This is what the SAR images from underneath the pyramid show, and this is a 3D recreation. So from what they show underneath the pyramid, we find 8 gigantic cylindrical structures, obviously perfectly aligned in 4 pairs. I can't even build my IKEA furniture, but okay. And they go deep down into the earth, and I mean 648 meters deep. Those are some tubes. And each of them is surrounded by this circular thingy, like a pathway perhaps. Icing on the cake, at the base of the pyramid, so above ground level, we find 5 chamber-looking units stacked over each other. Just as a reminder, they're made of heavy granite blocks. I've explained in another video in this playlist what a possible theory is as to how they were able to transport them, so go check it out. And don't get mad with me, I didn't come up with it. So 5 chambers on top of 648 meters cylinders that pierce into the earth. You know, ordinary. Also, the cylinders finish, they plant themselves into these 2 blocks, gigantic blocks. They're 80 meters by 80. So this whole thing is so much bigger than the pyramid itself. But wait, this is an image of the whole Giza complex. So not just Khafre, which is right here. Well, it shows that all the pyramids are interconnected from underneath with structures that develop for 2 kilometers. Now, why was I hesitant to talk about this? Because this is awaiting peer review. Major news outlet have not been covering this at all. I saw another creator saying it's been covered, but only in Italy because the study is Italian. I'm Italian and it still has not made the news. This is the only interview I could find where Malanga himself gets interviewed. I'll link it in the caption, but I'm sorry, it's all in Italian. Supposedly they will release more information soon, and if they do, I will of course keep you updated. But if it does get peer reviewed, we seriously need to reconsider the whole, oh, that little pyramid thing, they just used it to bury pharaohs. Both Biondi and Malanga believe the structure has a mechanical function. The ritualistic explanation just wouldn't cut it anymore. It has been thrown out there that pyramids might have had a power generating function that uses the Earth's frequencies to generate energy, and so the cylinders would be where the energy gets stored, which would explain why the radar detected vibrations inside the structures. I saw another TikTok that said that the researchers will do a 4-hour-long presentation giving more explanation. I was not able to verify this claim, full disclosure, but I sure hope it's true and that they tell us more, because if this gets peer reviewed and validated, I mean, it would be groundbreaking.
If this gets peer reviewed and validated, a lot more questions get asked. How can space be fake? How can the earth be flat? How can the moon not do or be whatever it was? How could there not have been giants? It's just a bunch of questions. I think that's why they kicked me out of Christian. Well, they didn't kick me out of Christianity. They kicked me out of the church because I was asking too many questions. And I was only like 8 or 9 years old. They was like, why are you asking so many questions? He got the devil in him.
Do you know that in recent years there has been more and more talk of time speeding up? You've probably noticed it yourself. The acceleration started around 1980. Scientists are
This is strange because Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, said one of the signs of the last days is the shrinking of time. This is for those of you who haven't been here. I was dating this Muslim girl when I was in like 8th grade. I was trying to, do what 8th graders do. She really liked me. Like looking back, I realized she really liked me and she was like courting me. So her dad would like just play basketball with me and like, he had like DJ equipment and we would be like, that whole like bonding kind of thing. And he would tell me stuff while we was just like hanging out and bonding. I'm like getting to know her family. Back then I didn't know what they were doing. Now as an adult, I know. So he would tell me different stuff. And at the time, you know, I'm going to church and everything like that. So I'm listening to him like, all right, whatever, man. Just, you know, I wasn't acting like that, but in my head, I'm like, oh, I can't. Would you take that top off of your daughter? Oh, man, I'm going to kill that thing. I'm in 8th grade. Would you just relax? And he said that the shrinking of time meant time was going to speed up. I'm hearing all this Star Wars stuff, and I'm like, all right, bro. That was just a quick story time. Let's get back to this.
Noticing that time is passing faster, people have less time to do things than they used to, and scientists are already putting numbers on it. A modern day is equivalent to 18 hours, not 24. People now in their 40s look like people in their 30s used to look. For example, monks in a monastery on the holy island of Mount Athos noticed this because they didn't have enough time to pray. For centuries, they have been reading the same prayer book, and now they don't have time to read it in a day. And in Tibet, there is a monastery in which every day at the same time monks burn candles that should burn exactly 24 hours. The technology of production of these candles do not change for hundreds of years. So, since some time, the monks have noticed that the candle does not have time to burn out in 24 hours. And the most frightening thing is that every year, time begins to fly faster and faster. By the way, have you ever noticed that time has gotten faster? Or is it all a game of our brain and imagination?
Thank you to my channel members. We said thank you, to my channel members. No diddy when I say member. Thank you to my channel members. Fuck you if you're not a member. Nah, I'm just kidding, but seriously, join. Thank you